Hi everyone, it's me, Monica P. Hall, aka Conduit of Healing, Psychic Medium, Reiki Master Teacher, Light Worker Mentor, and it is time for our weekly messages for the collective. Pretty excited about this week's message. It is a broad subject, but magic is here just in time to be annoying. I didn't say that. This week's message is very interesting. It's about our personal journeys, and I'm going to share with you some insight the crew gave me. But first, before we get started, if you have been watching my channel, tuning in for the weekly messages and you're really enjoying it, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Also, I would absolutely appreciate it if you liked the actual video and comment. I know some of you have, and I absolutely appreciate you for it, but definitely would like to get a little bit more feedback in terms of whether or not you find these messages helpful, if the insights are really helping you on your spiritual journey. Okay, so let's get right into it. And I write this down, so I'm going to read it, and then we're going to really dig in. Here we go. Ascension means there is no destination, there's only the journey. Our focus isn't on the idea there's a place to stop, but thresholds of growth. There's no need to be preoccupied with finishing since there is no finish line. This is a journey of self-discovery and expansion of consciousness, not a race to the end. And I think this is really important because I have found, not just with myself, but with others, right? We seem to be in such a hurry in this journey of self-discovery. And we're in such a hurry that we forget one basic thing, right? The universe has no end. There's no end to the universe. Even scientists will tell you that it is constantly going through some sort of transformation, transmutation. I just realized it didn't turn the ringer on my phone off. Definitely want to do that. So there's no ending. There's no place that you need to quote unquote get to that one could describe as finite. If anything, when we're talking about things like ascension, right, we're talking about awareness. We're talking about consciousness. We are talking about thresholds of wisdom that through our actions, through our hard work, through our conscious choosing, decisions that we make, we earn our way to a certain level of awareness. And as we're going through these things to keep in mind. One, you cannot take everyone with you. You're going to change. Your relationships will change. Your choices may change. Your life may change on a macrocosm and as well as on a microcosm. And there's no such thing as running late. So what I personally have been going through, and I think a lot of people have been going through as we are still trying to navigate this new earth energy in the time of COVID. And when I say that now, right, I'm not just talking about this one virus and its myriad of variants, but the impact it's had on day-to-day living on a global scale. We have been forced, as I've said before, to reevaluate everything. What's important to us? Who's important to us? How do we want to spend our time? How do we want to spend our energy, our money? What is this thing we call our life now? There's a lot of reevaluation going on. And what I have noticed is there's a lot of shedding of who I was. And you might have been experiencing it as well. Who I was is not who I am, nor, to be quite honest, is it who I want to be. I understand that when we're talking about things like ascension, it's described in many belief systems as a spiral, almost like a staircase. Or if you've ever seen a chakra or any sort of depiction of chakras, they show it presented as a vortex. Rather than going down, right? Rather than having the energy coming down into your own personal chakra system from the heavens, we are consciously actually using our lives as a spiral staircase, if you will, going up attempting to meet the heavens or, higher knowledge, higher consciousness, if you will. And so there's no end to this. Therefore, when we are thinking about our lives and we're thinking about mindfulness and consciousness, what we have to tell our ego, because the ego is going to get impatient, the ego is going to get tired, the ego is going to have expectations that we may or not meet. The ego is not going to understand, why do we have to change this? Why can't we keep this toxic relationship? Why can't we keep these old traditional thoughts and ways of being and ways of living? Why do we always have to basically try to be better? Because we're ascending. Because there is no place that we're ever going to reach where the universe doesn't, say, hey, it's time to go. Hey, there's more. Wait till you see it. That's not going to end. It doesn't end for the universe itself, so there's no ending for us, right? If you have been a person who believes in, the idea that we are infinite beings having a human experience, then just being human isn't the end of the ride. It isn't the end of the journey. It is part of a broader journey than maybe you've allowed yourself to understand, believe, what have you. But I have found over the years that the more I answer the call, the more calls come. Which sometimes, you're like, oh, I just got here. And let's talk about just getting here. So what do I mean by that when I say I'm just getting here? You just got to a new level of understanding. Things not to do. Rush to get through that level of understanding, chasing the next level. It's not a race. It's an infinite journey of self-discovery. Why am I reminding you of this? I'm reminding you of this because, you've ever climbed a staircase, right? And you get to a landing before you are going to the next flight, if you will. The landing is really important, and it's important for a couple of reasons, right? So let's talk about it in the physical sense. A landing is kind of like a resting point. You just climbed a whole bunch of stairs, and the landing gives you the chance to catch your breath, gives you a chance to rest your legs. It gives you a chance to, contemplate what's up ahead. That metaphor actually works with ascension. When you get to your newest level or threshold, if you will, or landing place of awareness, of knowledge, of wisdom, you know what? I would not advise that you be in such a hurry to get to the next level. First of all, unlike an actual staircase, if you are not vibrationally and energetically ready for the next level, there is literally nothing you can do to get to that first step to the next level. Because this really is about vibrational energy. And so you can't fake your vibes. You can't go read a whole bunch of books, have your life not change, have your spirit not upgrade in any way, shape, or form, have your life not upgrade in any shape or form, and then think, oh, I got the pass to go to the next level. I know some of you have tried it. Once upon a time, I was also you, trying to rush. And, probably like me, you kind of got just smacked right back down to the level that you actually were at. You got some situations or experiences that kind of, took the air out of the excitement of trying to move forward. And so why is that? Why is that important? Because one of the things I think that we forget is that the whole life experience, while it is individual, it's also communal. While we're being students, we're also teachers, whether we realize it or not. And so it's very important that we realize that while you're going about your ascension, while you're going about your spiritual journey, someone is watching you. Someone is taking, mental notes, actual notes. They're taking kind of memory photographs of what they're seeing you do and how they see you going about your journey. And so I think this is one of the beautiful things about our existence as a species, is that we're all teachers, just like we're all students. And to a certain extent, we're all masters. Ideally, we're trying to become masters of ourselves. We're trying to gain understanding about our own personal process. We're trying to work through our own traumas and glean the lessons from those things, so that, as life does what it does, as the same themes are repeated, as the same tests come into our lives, we can recognize, oh, this reminds me of this, and in the past I reacted this way, but I learned that that wasn't the best reaction to work in my highest and best good. I learned, try it this way, so I know to apply it. We forget that the journey is an ongoing thing. The ascension is an ongoing thing. You're never going to be at a place where you just stop. And I want to caution people on that, because I feel like as we get from children to adolescence to quote unquote adult to maybe like middle age where I am now, a lot of people just kind of want to plop down in their own lives and go, I can go no further. I don't want to change anymore. I don't want to learn anything new. I don't want to do any more healing. I just don't want to work at my life anymore whatsoever. I often wonder, do you really understand what you're saying? Because I don't think that you are. Just because your ego is tired doesn't mean that you should be stopping. Just because you've gotten to the point where you don't care enough about yourself to move forward, you don't care enough about your quality of life to move forward, just because you've given up on happiness, just because it's easier to be miserable than it is to be joyful, just because it's easier to stay in abusive situations and relationships or to be an abuser yourself, just because you've kind of thrown in the towel doesn't mean life has stopped. Doesn't mean the universe has stopped. Doesn't mean your ascension journey has stopped. Because it doesn't stop. You are part of something much larger than perhaps you're willing to accept or understand. We are part of the universe, right? The universe is expressing itself as us, as individuals. So there's never going to be a time it's like, this is good. Like, for example, I'm in my 40s and I'm going to be having a birthday in the next couple months. This is not the point where I go, this is good. I'm just going to stop here. I'm going to stop answering the call of spirit. I'm going to stop trying to improve, myself. I'm going to stop, creating. Because I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I've, worked so long. I've worked so hard, blah, blah, blah. Now, notice how I've said, I've not said that I'm going to stop enjoying it. If you haven't been enjoying your life, that was your choice. And while that may have hurt your ego a little bit, it was your choice. You could have chosen to do things that made you feel more joyful, that made you feel more present in life, that brought you happiness, that made you feel fulfilled. You could have welcomed those kinds of relationships in your life by choosing to remove the relationships in your life that didn't make you feel good, didn't support you in an endeavor to become the best that you can be in a lifetime, that didn't support your ascension. You could have chosen to release those things those people, those decisions, or those aspects of yourself, perhaps, that are self-destructive, that really don't want to see you win, that really kind of want to see you just stop or be stuck. All of this, all of it is built on choices. So this isn't a place where you go, okay, I'm at this level and I want to stop. And I've seen people try to do this, and it's sort of like, rather than just getting to a landing, if you will, and just staying there, it's almost as if the universe takes all the stairs that you've already climbed and flattens them out, and you fall all the way back down. You're actually not allowed to be stuck for very long. When we're stuck, it's not like, okay, I'm going to stay at this level of knowledge. What tends to happen is the universe keeps saying, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Time to be better, time to do better. That person's not good for you. You know, you have to let that situation go. That job's not good for you. You need to start looking for a new job. That situation that you enabled, right, is only going to get worse if you don't start speaking the truth that you know and that person needs to hear, that you need to say, so that you can continue. That never stops. The universe never goes, okay, you know, I can see that you're a little tired, that you don't want to go any further. We'll just move on to someone else. That never happens. What does happen is we're watching other people go past us. We're watching people that perhaps, seemingly were behind us, or seemingly, didn't have our level of wisdom. We're seeing them walk right past us. Why? Because they didn't stop working. They didn't stop searching. They didn't stop answering the call, right? And then all of a sudden, it seems like the whole world's gone past us and we're alone. Except maybe we, still have our toxic friends, our toxic relationships, we're at a toxic job that we hate. We're complaining, but we're not doing anything different, right? And the people who used to listen, the people who used to encourage, the people who used to try to assist, try to help, well, they left. And why would they leave? Because it became clear that you weren't trying to do anything. And I'm going to be honest, I'm definitely the type of person, I am a spiritual cheerleader. I feel like I need to say that out loud. It's been true, possibly my entire life, but, I'm growing. I am a spiritual cheerleader. I'm going to encourage you in when I'm working with my clients, I'm encouraging them. I'm giving them the tools. I'm giving them homework. This is what you do to get to your next threshold of ascension, your next level of awareness. This is what you need to do in order to change your life, to change your relationships, to set those boundaries, to continue to prioritize your well-being so you can just go as far as you can while embodied. And I'm going to say that because I am a psychic medium. Yes, even spirit, while they're no longer embodied, are still on levels of ascension, and they are trying, hopefully, if they're working with me or talking to me, I'm trying to help you get to whatever your next level is. I don't care if you're embodied or not. It doesn't stop. Okay. So if you thought like, oh, okay, so once I die, then okay, I can just rest. There's too many stories about spirit houses, about hauntings, about souls that are not at rest for you to still believe that death, the physical death, is all there is, and that you can just flop down in the ether and be like, oh, okay, this is good. No. Now, I'm not saying any of this to overwhelm you. On the contrary, I'm saying this so you enjoy the actual journey more, so that you will slow yourself down and make sure that everything that you can glean from a landing, you do. All of the wisdom, you don't just store it here, you implement it here. That if you have in your chakra system, one of the chakras is not open, it's got to be open. All of them have to be open. You can't just walk around with an open like heart chakra and then have your root chakra a whole mess, because that's going to be hard. You're going to be walking around like just, an empath, ethically bleeding all over the place for things and people that you don't need to, because you haven't grounded yourself to the planet, going, oh, you know what? I feel their pain, but let me send that back because that's not mine. I can't tell you how many empaths are out there talking about how painful it is to be an empath. And I'm like, hi, let me teach you how to own what's yours and to release what's not. It's not a curse to be an empath. So if you're an empath and you believe the hype where it's like, oh, it's so painful and people are so mean and I attract narcissists, you're not protecting yourself. You're just out there just absorbing, feeling, and holding it. Somebody, hi, happy to help you, needs to teach you how to release. What's yours is yours. What's theirs is theirs. Now, it's important to be an empath. This is how we relate to one another. But we don't need to bleed out for one another. I'm definitely not going to help your situation if I'm taking on your pain. If anything, it's wonderful that I am an empath and I can say, you know what? I feel it. I feel your heartbreak. I feel your heartache. Now we're relating. So, number one thing you just learned, I'm not alone. And you know what? That's always a relief to know that whatever we're feeling in that moment, someone else gets it. Someone else understands. That can be very, very empowering. But how am I helping you if you're in pain and I'm taking on your pain and we're both in pain? Like who's going to get us out of this situation, right? So that's really important for me to be able to say, I feel your pain, but it doesn't feel like yours. Is that your pain? No, this is my partner's, or it's my best friend's, or it's my this. Okay, so this is where we do namaste. We have to live the namaste. We don't just say the namaste. The highest part of you, me, honors the highest part of you, right? So what does that mean? This pain doesn't belong to me. I feel it. I understand you're in pain. I'm going to, if you will allow, I'm going to try to help you relieve that pain. But it is not helpful to either you or me for me to just bear your pain, right? Not when you, as a person, as a spiritual being, as a creature of creation and a co-creator, have the ability to make different choices so that you don't have to experience that pain, right? This is all part of it. This is all part of it. We talk about the free will, we talk about ascension, but this really is, a conscious effort. Every time you think about it, sometimes when you don't think about it, and that's why we practice not to keep practicing, we practice to change our ways of thinking, our ways of being, our ways of living, our ways of reacting to, traumas that trigger old traumas, so on and so forth. Yeah, there's no finish line for that. There's no finish line for that. There's a finish line for, being a human being, but there's no finish line from ascension. As long as we are living in a universe that is constantly giving birth to itself, dying one way, reborn in another way. And we're doing that, right? Who I was as an infant, I carry a trace of her, but I'm not her. I'm not toddler Monica. I'm not teenage Monica. I'm not 20-something Monica. Thank God I'm not 20-something Monica. Woo, 20s time. I like to call it time of great insanity. You don't want to be those things anymore. You want, ideally, to learn, to figure yourself out, to figure out people, to figure out situations so that you can make better decisions. Okay, so self-discovery. This is all self-discovery. It is self-expression. It is, if ever you get confused, I highly recommend look at the stars. Check in with the cosmos. See what NASA is saying, all the other planets are doing, what the other systems are doing. Because, I think we can get very stuck in our own little story and we really become so self-involved. We think that our story is the only story. Meanwhile, you got a whole universe out there, stars exploding, stars being born, new planets being discovered, old planets dying. Not to mention, while we're kind of being so self-involved, how can we consciously be a benefit to our own planet that we need to live on, as opposed to a detriment? How can we be a benefit to nature as opposed to a detriment, right? Because everything has its own ascension path, right? And so therefore, if we have to do this, and yes, we do have to do this. We actually do have to do this. Yeah, even for example, so okay, when if I'm not embodied anymore, I don't have to ascend. Yes, you do. There's levels of the spirit world as well, and if you're really kind of into metaphysics and you're into the occult and you're into the esoterics, you know this. If you're not comfortable, if your spirit's not comfortable anywhere, the universe is like, come on, there's more. There's more for you to do. There's more for you to learn. There's more for you to be. Come on, come on, come on. And I'm not going to lie to you. Some days I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't do it today. All right, you can't do it today. Let's not do it today. Rest today. It's okay. There's no time limit on this. We got infinity. Rest. But tomorrow I'm going to be calling you. Are you going to be ready tomorrow? Are you going to be ready tomorrow? It's like, yes, I'll be ready tomorrow. You're not feeling it, but you're already putting that energy out there, right? Everybody loves law of attraction, law of attraction, law of attraction. I'm gonna attract my lover. I'm gonna attract wealth. What about attracting self-discipline? What about attracting self-love? What about if I say to the universe, all right, I'm not ready today. I'm so tired today. All right, great. I'll call back tomorrow. Will you be ready tomorrow? Yes, I will. It's out there now, right? The universe heard you. Every cell in your body heard you. Your spirit guides heard you. Tomorrow, I will be ready. So everything starts moving to assist you to be ready to answer the call the next day. Okay? You guys are going all big on the law of attraction. Then you're like, I don't understand why I'm not getting what I wanted. Because, look at what you're wanting. And look at the vibration you're at. Do they match? Do they match? Do the vibe that the frequency you're giving out, does it match the thing or the experience or the person that you want? Because, perhaps it's not the universe that's the issue, because the universe is like, sure, I got you. I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. Perhaps it's the universe going, well, I'm ready, but you're not ready. You have to climb this flight of stairs first. It's like, can't you no, we're not bringing stuff down to you. We'll meet you there. Climb the flight of stairs and I'll meet you on the landing. You can have it on this landing. Up there, up this flight. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that this week. Do what you have to do in order to continue your journey. Answer the calls. There's no race. It's about you having this glorious opportunity in your lifetime to fully express everything that you can be in a lifetime. To surround yourself and to choose love and happiness and support and health everywhere. And it's also the opportunity for you to say, I'm not going to waste my time and energy that's given to me in this lifetime on situations that don't make me better, on people that don't make me better, on things, situations, and people that don't support my best and highest good. I honestly, every time I think about it, it is such an incredible opportunity. I'm very grateful for every ounce of work that I've done. I'm very grateful for every relationship I've had, whether or not it was going to work for me, whether or not it ended up being toxic. And I'm grateful for my own level of consciousness and my own choice of waking up every day, choosing self-love, so I can differentiate that's good for me and that is trying to kill me. And when I say kill me, I don't necessarily mean physical death. You could have spiritual death in your own lifetime. If you've ever seen somebody walking around with a broken spirit looking like dead while alive, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. That looks like a version of hell. That looks like torture. That looks like a living death. It doesn't have to be that way. We have choices. We have opportunities. We have the ability to align ourselves with the universe and do all the freaking work and go as high in this infinite journey as we can while embodied. And I think that's extraordinary. So thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, if you are enjoying this video, all the videos, make sure you're subscribing to my channel. Make sure you're liking this video, and make sure you comment if you actually have a comment, because I do read them. I enjoy reading them. All right, thanks so much. Namaste. Have a great week, everyone.